Now I have the ALLATRA International Public Movement.
Thank you very much. My name is Veronika Leštachová. I'm ambassador of ALLATRA International Public Movement. Within the framework of democratic values and human rights, I wish to draw attention to a concerning phenomenon, the anticult movement. While this network often claimed to protect society from so-called dangerous sects or destructive cults, in reality, their activities frequently result in stigmatization, dehumanization, disinformation, and violations of the fundamental rights to freedom of belief and conscience. This is not merely an ideological debate, but a humanitarian concern affecting real individuals and families. Families are divided, individuals stigmatized, and communities silenced. Children, believers, and civil society activists are among the most affected. When state or semi-state actors adopt anticult rhetoric, it becomes a tool of exclusion and psychological pressure against those unable to defend themselves. Anticult narratives are connected to the Russian organization RACIRS, that is, Russian Association of Centers for the Study of Religions and Sects, and through a broader network, influence religion far beyond Russia, including Europe, United States, and also Ukraine. Through so-called expert reports, often lacking transparency and academic rigor, they seek to influence ministries, courts, and law enforcement, embedding stigmatizing language into policy and legislation. A central tactic is the use of coordinated disinformation and reputational attacks that create fear and social isolation. Such activities constitute information terrorism, as recognized in UN General Assembly Resolution 77-298, which defines actions aimed at spreading fear and manipulating information to undermine societal stability. This highlights the serious psychological and humanitarian impact of these campaigns. In some cases, these activities have even received public funding. For example, European organizations were supported by public budgets while promoting narratives aligned with foreign ideological agendas. This raises concerns about accountability, transparency, and the use of public resources in ways that may undermine democratic principles. Anticult networks present themselves as defenders of society, but in practice undermine democratic pluralism and human dignity. Their activities contribute to disinformation, stigmatization, and the erosion of trust between citizens and institutions. We invite all interested participants to our site event on the 16th of October at 4 p.m. in the meeting room 2, where we will present documented concrete showing how this system operates in practice. Thank you very much.
Next on my list is the ALLATRA International Public Movement.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, honorable representatives of the member states. My name is Roman Gurel, and I'm an ambassador of ALLATRA IPM. Allow me to remind you that the true strength of democratic institutions lies not only in their ability to endure in times of peace, but also to stand firm in times of war. In this regard, Ukraine today is an extraordinary example. Despite Russian aggression, daily attacks, and widespread destruction, Ukrainian society has not abandoned its commitment to the protection of fundamental rights, including freedom of religion. This stance was recognized this May at a high level in Washington, D.C. during the IRF Builders Forum, where Ukraine was commended as a nation that not only defends its sovereignty, but also protects the plurality of faith and belief. The United States also noted that Kyiv has had the courage to confront the activities of pro-Russian agents seeking to undermine public trust and manipulate public discourse, often under the disguise of so-called anti-cult campaigns. One such individual connected to the international RACIRS network based in Russia is currently being prosecuted in Ukraine for inciting interreligious hatred. However, this mechanism, which Russia has long used to suppress freedom of thought and religious expression, is not limited to Ukraine. The same strategies are spreading across other European countries through networks, organizations, and individuals who spread hostility not only toward minority religious communities, but also toward civic and social movements, thus laying the groundwork for a new form of totalitarian thinking. Therefore, we call on European institutions to thoroughly investigate these anti-cult activities, to prevent the repetition of historical mistakes that began with stigmatization, continued with restriction of freedom and persecution, as we now witness in Russia, and ultimately led to genocide. Today, within the framework of the OSCE and the European Union, we face a clear challenge to recognize the anti-cult movement as the hybrid threat that undermines the very foundations of democratic society. Confronting such threats head-on is essential to safeguarding democratic resilience across our societies and to initiate its in-depth investigation across Europe, following the example set in Washington, D.C. The defense of religious freedom, even for the smallest communities, is the defense of democracy itself. Thank you for your attention.